Now broadcasting on your favorite podcast platform, it's the Maverick Do It Different podcast with your host, Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire. When you want to step up and dare to be different, when you will dare to be great and live up to your fullest potential, when you are ready to dare to be a maverick and live the life of your dreams, filled with abundance, passion, and joy, then it's time to listen to me, Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire, and the Maverick Do It Different podcast. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of this Mavericks Do It Different podcast. And today I've got one of my special authors here to share with us his experience, his knowledge. Oh, and by the way, I'm Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire, for all of you that did not know already. And the person that's with us today, he is going to be in our newest edition of Network Marketing 2.0 Revealed. It's how everyday marketers are reshaping the industry for a new generation. He's an author, speaker, lecturer, entrepreneur, producer, choreographer, and hear this, ballroom dancer. Bud helps you understand there is no more to life than a college degree. He encourages you to step out of your comfort zone and take more risks by becoming an entrepreneur. His varied experiences in manufacturing, distribution, personal growth, sports, communication, entertainment, entrepreneurism, public speaking, ballroom dancing give him a unique supply of resources and perspective like none other. He wants to share his life experiences with you, which is why he's here, with the hope that the lessons he teaches will help you navigate the challenges of life. His words of wisdom guarantees that you will be a different person if you apply and when you apply the knowledge that he shares into your life. He informs you that you have the power to change anything in your life by changing your choices of words you say to yourself. This is the inspiration for his book, Words Matter. He inspires you to take risks, accept failure, and be better at communication and becoming a force of good. He believes that knowledge is simply a tool and must be applied before it can become expertise. He is known for his passion in sharing his wisdom, helping you navigate your personal challenges in finding success and happiness, and is also happily married and has 3 children and, get this, 7 grandchildren and counting. Please welcome as our author and guest for today, Bud Ayers. Welcome. It's a pleasure.
Wow, Paul, thank you very much. I've never had an introduction like that. I feel like I have some big shoes to fill, but I'm very excited to be here. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the back of my book here, I don't know if you can see that. Indeed. I just met the woman who wrote that little article there recommending my book. We had a luncheon together today, and she just loves my book. And so she speaks highly of what she learned from it, and it changed her life. And my goal is to share that with everybody.
Words matter. It's a topic that I talk about all the time. It absolutely is key. So many people, they utilize the language ineffectively, both internally and externally. And when you use it with the power it's meant to have, it can really change your life. And I think that's your message, if you will.
Yes.
Yes. With all your successes, where did your journey begin? What really started it off?
Divorce.
Oh, explain that one.
Well, if I look at it this way, if I didn't get divorced, I wouldn't have met the people that I had met, which brought me to this journey. I would have stayed the same person and never ventured off because I'm an introvert and I'm not much drawing attention to myself except when I'm playing sports. I would have never taken the risk to start ballroom dancing, which ended up becoming my passion. Wow. So divorce, even though it was a terrible thing, it's what set me free from being the average person, because now I had to struggle to survive and figure everything out again.
So fascinating when we look at people's journeys and recognize that sometimes so many people was like, yeah, I got inspired or I did this, or and sometimes it's when we hit the bottom, or we go through just one of the toughest things that we wouldn't wish on our worst enemy, that we go through that and it creates, it's going through the cocoon and coming out the butterfly. It's we become a whole new person.
And I will admit, I was responsible for the divorce, so I take it upon myself that I was the one who failed the marriage. But in the same token, it's because of that all this stuff happened. So who knows? I just wrote my first song, as a matter of fact, 4 weeks ago. So I'm just trying all new things.
I'm a firm believer that things happen for a reason. And
yes.
Good, bad, or indifferent, check off that it's happening and then experience it fully. And it sounds like that's exactly what you've been doing.
Yes, exactly. I mean, part of the wisdom is learning from the lessons, the mistakes that you made. And I found that I'm a lot happier now that I stopped judging people.
Yes.
And just accept, hey, we all have our challenges. Maybe he's going through a bad day. That's his thing. I just try to maintain a sense of serenity every day so that I can sleep, I'm relaxed, and I'm just enjoying whatever process I'm going through.
Fascinating. And so here's the question. Like so many people, they'll go through the same experience. Obviously, there's millions of people that have gone through divorce, and they didn't exactly have the same revelation that you did. They didn't come out the other side going, okay, I got this. What makes you different? What is it that, was it something that tweaked inside? Was there a moment? Was it a thought? What was it that really created the different results for you?
I've always felt different because I question everything. I don't, as a kid, you hate, as a parent, when there's a, because I said so, and you hated that. I hated that as a kid. And I said, when I become a parent, I'm never going to do that. And I did that. And I hate every minute of it. Yeah. I don't like it when I have to say. So I have a tendency to question everything and try to find out what happened. And what I found with a lot of divorced couples is that their anger was more important. Being right was more important. And for me, I told my wife, and it's funny, I just mentioned this earlier today. I said, just because we're not in love anymore doesn't mean you're a bad person or I'm a bad person. You have to remember, we're connected for the rest of our lives through our children.
Yep.
And they don't want to have to choose between us. So, be happy, live your life. And you don't love me anymore. I have to accept that. But in the same token, you and I are going to be connected for the rest of our lives. So let's enjoy it.
Yeah. So many lessons in that, as far as, one, controlling your own emotional state and being of peace of mind to be able to even have that conversation is quite impressive. And it's what most people haven't really come to that place. And it definitely is a journey.
Oh, yeah.
So neat.
I mean, one of the hardest moments was when I would go watch my son. I had two boys, and my son would be playing, and my younger son would be there with my wife, my ex-wife, and her new husband, and he was sitting on his lap. And I had to sit there and go, I can't get mad at my son. That's just me, pushing out my pain to him. So I had to just sit there and accept that, this is the person who's going to help raise my son now, and I have to accept that and just deal with it.
Yeah. There's definitely a growth that happens, and the fascinating thing is what made you come to the realization where you were able to get that peace inside and keep moving forward and create what you've been creating, which takes just unbelievable strength of character.
I have no idea. I think it's just that I'm not a person who likes to hurt anybody. I don't like whatever. I do believe is, treat your neighbor as you want to be treated as yourself. So I would not want to be treated that way. So I don't treat anybody in any harsh way. That's just my attitude.
It sounds like leading with your heart is the message of the day.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. when I was going through, and I went through our years, I've been with my wife for 35 years. 35 years ago, we started dating, 6 children. And there was a point where, with stresses of life and different things, and we'd argue. And I remember listening to my internal voice and came to a realization that I was treating the person that I profess to love the most in the worst way. And why would I ever want to do that? And started shifting my behavior way back when with that thought in mind. And it sounds like you had similar thoughts in your head, and especially with your relationship with your children and grandchildren. Just awesome.
Yeah. I've always thought differently, and I honestly don't even know where it came from, because my parents never really guided us.
Right.
My mother's, where she taught me was, what's expected of you. That's it. That's as far as she went. What's expected of you. And, being raised Catholic, believing in God and following rules and thinking that somebody's always watching over you. So you're in good behavior that way. But I don't like hurting people. It's just not my thing.
I hear you.
And, even though I took martial arts and, I punch people, and I feel bad if I hurt them, really.
Understood. So with all that you're going through, and you've written a chapter, we have a chapter in the book, and the book's amazing with some amazing authors. I encourage everyone to get it. It's going to be in Barnes & Noble and Amazon and every distribution house all around the world. You can get this book. In your chapter, what's the takeaway that they should take away from your particular chapter in the book?
Okay. That's been something that I'm proud to say that I came up with, and that is stop needing to and start wanting to.
Excellent.
And what it basically says is you pay attention to what you say when you want to do something. Like, I need to lose weight, or I need to get a job, or I need to do this. And you'll find you don't have the enthusiasm to do it. But when you get them to the mindset of wanting to do something, the results start to happen quicker.
Here.
So I always pose this question to my college students. How many of you need to graduate? How many of you want to graduate? Those who want to will find a way to do it and enjoy the process. Those who need to will struggle because it's not part of their desire to be. And so pay attention to that word. And I have a funny little way of remembering something, and that is, there's only 5 things in life that you need. Okay? And without these, you die. And I put it in this order so that it's easy to remember. It spells flaws, FLAWS. And that's food, love, air, water, and sleep. Without those things, you die. Those are the only time you say, I need air. Okay, good. I need food. Okay, good. I need to sleep. Good. But I need to pay my taxes. I need to do the homework. I need to, it's like, ugh.
It's a want, not a need. There's no
question. It's a want, not a need. And that little phrase has changed so many people's lives because they start to pay attention to how many times they say it. I said, notice even listening to politicians nowadays, they all say this country needs this country, and you notice it doesn't get done.
Yeah, really powerful. Awesome. So what's next? What's next for you? Bud Ayers.
What's next for me is I want to get out there and, present my point of view, or not my point of view, but my shared experience. The only thing that I can truly claim to be my own is that stop needing to and start wanting to. Everything else I learned from somebody else. Right. And if anything in life, it's not your education. And my wife said I should write a song called Mindset, Habits, and Choices. Oh my. Those are the 3 things that are really going to get you through life. And it's unfortunately not taught in school. They're not taught to problem solve. They're taught to pick their answers from multiple choice. And we all know life isn't multiple choice. Right. They're not taught to question, ask why not. They're just said, this is how it's done, obey. And I've just never been one of those. I tell my students, rules are for people who don't think, because people who think will figure it out.
Here. Welcome to the Maverick community. Yes, absolutely. The Maverick message is do it different. That's why we named the podcast. And that's been my journey for the last 35 plus years and growing. And it's definitely where highly successful people and people that really are the leaders in our world, that's their focus. How do you do it different? How do you create something different?
Yeah. What makes me, I think my outstanding characteristic, or what makes me different, is I teach the way my students learn. I don't teach the way I learn. I teach the way my students learn. So I get their background, find out how they do things. Like I would ask my couple, so what does your husband do? I'm an engineer. Oh, good. I can teach those really well. Or, this and that, because I can speak the different languages.
Indeed. Yeah, absolutely on the same page with that. That's awesome. Got a quick lightning round to share with our groups, get to know you a little bit better. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
What's your favorite book?
My favorite book is Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. I really resonate with what he said and what he does. And it's like, when he started saying the things I've been trying to tell my wife, I was like, yes. So yeah. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind.
Highly recommend it. For me, that book was also a great marketing tool. Like the way he laid it out in marketing was also just amazing. And he was one of the first to really design it so that it would interplay between offline and online, which was really cool. Your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, for some people this might be weird, but it's Saving Private Ryan.
Why that movie?
I watch that movie whenever I feel like I'm having challenges in life. And once I realized I don't have to worry about getting shot tomorrow, I don't have to worry about where my next step is going to be, who I'm going to run into, I start to realize my problems are all in my head. Yeah. And so it puts me back into perspective and say, you know what? I can overcome anything because my life is not in danger. It's just all in my head.
That's powerful. Favorite singer, band?
I would say Earth, Wind and Fire, because I'm a dancer and I grew up with Earth, Wind and Fire, and I play a lot of their songs. As I'm sure you know, September is still popular to this day. And it just reminds me of my college days and all the fun I had growing up.
That's great. All right, so here's a tough one. Outside of ballroom dancing, what's your biggest passion?
Before, I would have said baseball. Now I'm getting into woodworking.
Really?
Yes, I'm buying all the tools. I got a pneumatic gun. I got drills. Now I want to see how well I can make furniture. Because in the remodeling of the house, I built 2 shelf units so far. And they just built, this past month, they're building a tool shed for me so I can start building things the right way. So I would say right now it's tool building shed. Ooh, I got a hummingbird right outside.
I love that. And the hummingbird's there for good luck.
Yep.
Absolutely. So it's been great getting to know you, Bud. It's been great. So excited that you're in our book and that you're one of our great authors. And we're going to be doing some amazing things all around the world, I know, and locking arms together. Final words of wisdom to share with our listeners.
Okay. Think of the number 2. Okay. I was going to say joke. Life is number 2. Wait, life is like the number 2. There's really only 2 things we do in life. We do it for the joy it gives us, or the pain or the pain. So think of life as being simple, but not easy. Many of our answers we make way too complicated. Sure. And almost always you can't go wrong if you follow your heart. Because in the end, you want to be able to sleep at night. Yeah. And I know for me, whatever I do, I tell people these things. If it doesn't help you, save you money, or benefit you, I won't even bother you with it. Because there's no point. Then I'm trying to sell you on something. Yeah. I only share things that I think that matter to people, that will improve their lives, because the answers are really simple. The problem is they're not listening to the right people.
Right.
And they're listening to people, you know, why are you getting advice from somebody who's been divorced 9 times? Yeah, that type of thing. And so it's just about who are you listening to, and follow your heart, because you normally can't go wrong. I know sometimes the brain has to kick in because we get into certain habits, but in general, be kind, love living, and just meet as many people as you can to make a connection. Because I'm finding right now with all the COVID, personal connection is what I live for right now. Just having lunch with somebody is like, oh my God, I can see your face.
Isn't it great? Yeah, people are just hungry for that. No question.
Yeah, really hungry for it. And life is simple, not easy.
Hear, hear. Yes, don't make it so complicated.
Yep.
Absolute pleasure, Bud. For all of you that want to connect with Bud Ayers, you will absolutely find all his contact information right here, and description is right in the links. And this has been a great episode. This is Paul Finck, the Maverick Millionaire. This is the Maverick Do It Different podcast. Absolute pleasure. This is where we dare to do it different. Till next time, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks for listening to Paul Finck. That's me, the Maverick Millionaire, and the Maverick Do It Different podcast. You can listen to us anytime, 24/7 on your podcast listening platform of choice. Introduce us to your friends, give us 5-star rating, and subscribe, and share us across all your social media platforms to anyone that could really utilize this message right now. Till next time, everyone.